every British tank ever made. Britain didn't build tanks, Britain invented them. Over 100 designs, legends, disasters, secrets. This is every British tank ever made. Number 1. Little Willie, the grandfather of all tanks. Built in 1915, this boxy machine was never meant for combat. It was a proof of concept, a test, an experiment to see if a tracked armored vehicle could actually cross the hellish terrain of no man's land. The answer was yes. Little Willie never saw battle, never fired a shot in anger, never crushed enemy wire. But without this humble prototype, nothing else on this list exists. Every tank ever built by any nation traces its lineage back to this machine. The name was supposedly a mocking reference to German Crown Prince Wilhelm. History has a sense of humor. Number 2. Mark I, the world's first combat tank. When Mark I rolled onto the Somme battlefield in September 1916, German soldiers didn't know what they were looking at. Some thought it was a monster. Others thought it was a ship, somehow sailing on land. This rhomboid beast crushed barbed wire that had stopped infantry for years. It crossed trenches that had claimed thousands of lives. It brought firepower directly to enemy positions that had seemed untouchable. The Mark I came in 2 versions. Male variants carried 6-pounder cannons. Female variants carried only machine guns. The names stuck throughout the war. Was it unreliable? Absolutely. Crews suffered from heat exhaustion, carbon monoxide poisoning, and mechanical breakdowns. But revolutionary? Beyond any measure, the tank was born. Number 3. Mark II. Training wheels for the tank corps. This was essentially an upgraded Mark I with minor improvements. Slightly better armor, marginally improved visibility. Nothing dramatic. The Mark II served primarily for crew training rather than frontline combat. Think of it as a beta version between major releases. Number 4. Mark III. Another training variant. Similar to Mark II with small modifications. These tanks kept the crews learning while engineers worked on the next generation. Not every tank needs to be a breakthrough. Some just need to keep the program moving forward. Number 5. Mark IV. The workhorse of British World War I armor. Over 1,200 Mark IVs were built, more than any other British tank of the Great War. This was the tank at Cambrai in November 1917, where nearly 400 tanks attacked together and proved that massed armor could break through any defensive line. The Mark IV featured improved fuel systems. Previous tanks used internal fuel tanks that turned the crew compartment into a death trap if hit. Mark IV moved the fuel outside. Fewer crews burned alive. That alone made it revolutionary. War is measured in such grim metrics. Number 6. Mark V. The first tank one man could actually drive. Previous Marks required 4 crew members just to steer. The driver controlled the gearbox while 2 gearsmen operated the track brakes and another managed the engine. The Mark V introduced an epicyclic gearbox, letting a single driver control the vehicle. It sounds simple. It changed everything. The Mark V arrived just in time for the final Allied offensives of 1918. Germany never recovered from those armored assaults. Number 7. Mark V Star. An extended version of the Mark V, 6 feet longer to improve trench crossing ability. It could also carry up to 25 infantry soldiers inside, delivering them directly to enemy lines. Troops called riding inside a hellish experience. The heat was unbearable. The fumes were toxic, but they arrived alive at enemy trenches, and that mattered more. Number 8. Medium Mark a Whippet. Speed over strength. While heavy tanks crushed trenches at walking pace, the Whippet exploited breakthroughs. Faster and lighter, it hunted retreating infantry and disrupted supply line. One Whippet named Musical Box rampaged behind German lines for 9 hours during the Battle of Amiens in August 1918. 9 hours of absolute chaos, destroying convoys, scattering infantry, creating panic far behind the front. Eventually, it was knocked out and its crew killed or captured. But 9 hours, 1 tank, 3 men. Imagine the terror they caused. Number 9. Mark 8 Liberty. The Anglo-American supertank. Jointly developed with the United States, the Mark 8 was supposed to win the 1919 spring offensive that never came. It combined the best British and American engineering, powerful engine, better armor, improved crew conditions, but the war ended in November 1918. Before the Mark 8 could fight, only about 100 were ever built. A weapon of tomorrow, stranded in yesterday. Number 10. Mark 9, the first armored personnel carrier. Designed to carry 30 infantry soldiers or 10 tons of supplies directly to the front line. Only 3 were built before the war ended. Another innovation that arrived too late. Number 11. Mark 10, a proposed improvement to Mark 9 that never left the drawing board. The armistice came first. Peace killed many promising designs. Now we enter the interwar period. Peace brought budget cuts. Army funding collapsed. Politicians questioned whether tanks had any future at all. But peace also brought innovation. With no war to fight, British designers experimented wildly. Some ideas were genius, some were insane, and a few were both. Number 12. Medium Mark B Whippet. Not a true Whippet despite the name. Heavier and slower than the original Medium Mark A, designed for infantry support rather than exploitation. Only 45 were built before cancellation. Number 13. Medium Mark C Hornet. The final British medium tank of World War I. Faster than Medium B, with better armor. None saw combat. The war ended first. Number 14. Medium Mark D. An experimental design with unique suspension. It could achieve 20 miles per hour, remarkably fast for 1918. Only prototypes were built, but the lessons learned influenced future designs. Number 15. Vickers Medium Mark I. The bridge between wars. Introduced in 1923, this became Britain's primary tank throughout the 1920s. It wasn't spectacular. The armor was thin. The armament was modest. But it was reliable enough to keep tank doctrine developing when budgets barely existed. It trained the crews who would fight the next war. Sometimes, that is enough. Number 16. Vickers Medium Mark II. An improved version introduced in 1925. Better armor protection. Improved turret design. This tank served until 1939, meaning some were still around when World War II began. 20 years of service from an interwar design. Number 17. Vickers Medium Mark III. Only 3 prototypes built. Too expensive for the tiny peacetime budgets. But it pioneered technologies that appeared in later successful designs. Number 18. Carden Lloyd Tankette. Tiny, cheap, and everywhere. Introduced in 1927, this was not really a tank. More like an armored weapons carrier for 2 men. But its simplicity made it affordable. Its small size made it transportable. 11 countries bought or copied it. The Soviet Union used it as the basis for their T-27. Poland built their own version. Japan studied it closely. Small machine. Massive global legacy. Number 19. Vickers 6-ton. The tank Britain sold to everyone else. Ironically, the British Army rejected this design as unsuitable for their needs. But the Soviets bought it and created the legendary T-26. Poland built their own version called the 7TP. Finland, Thailand, Bulgaria, Greece, and others all purchased or licensed it. British engineering ended up fighting on every side of the coming war. A strange twist of history. Number 20. Light Tank Mark I. The beginning of British light tank development. Introduced in 1929 for reconnaissance duties. Fast, small, and armed only with a machine gun. It was never meant to fight other tanks, only to scout. Number 21. Light Tank Mark II. Improved armor and suspension over Mark I. Still just a reconnaissance vehicle, still just a machine gun. Number 22. Light Tank Mark III. Further refinements, slightly better in every way, still inadequate for real combat. Number 23. Light Tank Mark IV. Introduced in 1934, the improvements continued incrementally. British doctrine insisted light tanks were for scouting only. The theory would be tested brutally. Number 24. Light Tank Mark V. More powerful engine, better cross-country performance. Still fundamentally a reconnaissance vehicle pretending to be a tank. Number 25. Light Tank Mark VI. The final pre-war British light tank. Over 1,000 were built. When war came in 1939, these formed a significant portion of British armored strength. Crews discovered the hard way that reconnaissance tanks cannot substitute for real tanks. Machine guns cannot stop enemy armor. Thin armor cannot stop anything. Many brave men died learning what should have been obvious. Number 26. A9 Cruiser Tank. Introduced in 1936. The first expression of British cruiser tank philosophy. Speed as armor. Move fast enough that enemies cannot hit you. The A9 featured thin armor to save weight, a decent 2-pounder gun for its era, multiple machine gun turrets for close defense. The theory sounded great in peacetime exercises. Number 27. A-10 Cruiser Tank. The A-9's slightly tougher brother. More armor meant less speed, which somewhat defeated the entire cruiser concept. The A-10 was a compromise. Like most compromises, it satisfied no one completely. Infantry tank advocates wanted more armor. Cruiser advocates wanted more speed. The A-10 offered neither. Number 28. A-11 Matilda 1. Infantry support at walking pace. This small tank carried thick armor, but only a machine gun for armament. It was designed to advance alongside infantry at walking speed, impervious to enemy fire while soldiers used it for cover. By 1939, it was already obsolete. A tank cannot fight other tanks with just a machine gun, but the concept of heavy armor pointed towards something much better. Number 29. A-13 Mark I Cruiser Tank. The Christie suspension arrives in Britain. Based on American inventor J. Walter Christie's revolutionary suspension system, the A-13 could move faster cross-country than anything Britain had built before. The suspension allowed great speed over rough terrain. Finally, the cruiser concept had legs. Literally. Number 30. A-13 Mark II Cruiser Tank. Improved version with extra armor bolted onto the turret. The distinctive spaced armor gave it a unique appearance. Still fast, slightly better protected, getting closer to a real fighting tank. Now we reach World War II, the real test. 6 years of total war produced dozens of designs. Some became legendary. Some became desperate stopgaps. Some were absolutely bizarre experiments. Britain threw everything at the problem of survival. So here is my question for you. Which British tank deserved more recognition? Which one was unfairly forgotten by history? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you made it this far through every British tank ever made, you have earned that like button. Subscribe for more military history. See you in the next one.